comes to these two, you know, I keep forgetting that they're twins. You know, that they're brothers.
Because I was kidding them.
But don't look nothing alike.
my first
last name.
My first instinct when it comes to these two niggas, I just know
Deserve it, I've been working. I know this shit gon' pay off, just like college loans. Smoking strong and going strong, that's what I've been on. Yeah, I rarely laugh, but I need cheese like provolone. Stay solid, keep it moving, like a rolling stone. These niggas try to copy and paste, I know they clones. Mask on, I'm inside, but I ain't hiding. I'm just riding, she keep me saying can catch the virus. Ain't picture perfect, but I'm on Kodak.
Thanks for tuning in to the episode of Don't Do That Chat. We got a good episode coming this week. We're going to talk about growth and also following your first instinct when things come up, whether that's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. As always, this is Artiste, a.k.a. Tease.
you ready.
You know,
Need this money today. I ain't got the slogan, but I'm back with it next week, man.
Let's get it. He a weirdo. And we got a special guest this week, my boy, my brother.
Appreciate y'all for having me, man. Big Foot in the building. Follow me on Instagram.
You know they say about Big Foot.
My brothers in the building, man. Don't get that chat. Gay. Right, so my first instinct is that this nigga is gay. So is anybody really? But nah, I want to say like my first instinct.
You know, earlier in the video, nigga, just jab at you.
Now let's talk about the growth part of it.
So I want to say like so. With the growth part, and I'm gonna tie it into my first instinct. Is that right with y'all?
Yes, sir.
So, as far as growth, I would say the best part to measure growth for me was realizing my becoming more patient with people. You know, because I've been a quarterback for pretty much my whole life. You know, I've been in a leadership role and stuff like that. And I've always been in that kind of mindset. But you know, I've always been a leader, but you can always be a better leader. You know. And so I just learned that going into college, and then now in the job I'm at, where I'm like in the real world, I see the growth as far as like football and basketball and sports really gave me the blueprints to how life really is. You know, dealing with people you don't like, dealing with competition, dealing with your team, facing adversity. I feel like the growth part of that into where I've become today, where it's just like, you know, I'm more patient with people, especially when, like, for example, it's like talking to toddlers at sometimes, but, you know, being more patient with them and then seeing basically like sowing reaping the benefits of what you did as far as leadership. Because for example, had somebody who like sucked, like for example, let's say he was on the basketball team, right? Mm-hmm. You got a nigga on there as a bench warmer, he's over there, he's like a 10th player off the bench. That nigga sucks. Mm-hmm. But you know, everybody else is being mean to him, just like, damn, bro, you fucking suck, bro, like, just quit. But you go over here and you nurture him. You say, it's like, you know what, bro, like, you can do better. Like, you ain't doing the best, but you can do better. But you give them that positive influence, and they keep going, and all of a sudden, they're fucking balling.
Right.
You know, and then there's a hell of cases right now in the world where it's like there was a nigga who was the weakest when we was playing Pop Warner and playing in elementary school, and then now that nigga's in the league.
Right.
You know? And I just want to say, like, as far as my growth into that is way beneficial, because I want to say, like, you know, it ties into my first instinct as far as, like, if I said something about a person, I can tell whether if I could encourage them, give them the help and move, or if they're just bullshitting me, you know what I'm saying? That growth part definitely helps me save my time, because I value my time. It's the most valuable thing I have, you know, and if I'm able to go ahead and save time by doing that, I see so much growth in that, because I went from wasting my time to knowing what the fuck I'm doing and what my first instinct is and what I should base that off of.
Okay. All right, so like kind of go off of my giant thing. I'm gonna go into the first part of growth, and when I want to start into that with growth is once you start getting older and start realizing things, that's when you learn to follow your first instinct. As in, like, I used to second guess myself, like, damn, should I go out to stay for college? Should I do this? Should I follow a certain path, or should I go other routes? And I realized as I started growing, I realized my first instinct was always the right instinct. Because your first instinct is really what people mentor you to think without you knowing. So like your first instinct is something your parents instilled in you, like go to college to do this or get this type of job, set yourself up for this in the future. And when you start going against that, that's when I feel like you get in the most trouble. Like, oh, I know I shouldn't be buying an extra little item because my parents wouldn't want me to do that. But your first instinct, I shouldn't be doing it. Right. And then they're like, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna go. Or nah, forget it, I'm gonna go get it. and like, damn, I messed up. I should listen to my first instinct because that first instinct was been mentored you since you was a baby. So as you get older, right? So since you get older, I think you learn to follow that instinct because you know that's coming from a certain place of knowledge, not just uncertainty or I guess it's coming from a place of like certainty. Like it's a reason I think this way. So I just actually think as you get older and you grow as a person, as a man, always go with your first guess because your instinct is not like 99% of the chance is right, and even if it is wrong, you can live with that result because that's how you was raised to live with that result. That's how I feel like going with instinct and growth. What about you? You looking like you put something together.
I mean, where do I start, bro? Let's be real, bro. Growth. I mean, for me, growth is really within yourself. You know, it's not really about what everybody else thinks about you, and that was one of my biggest things I had to learn growing up. I was always worried about what everybody else was thinking of me and not, you know, who I was seeing in the mirror. You know what I mean? I wanted to be the best at this. I wanted to be the best at that. But did I really want to do that? Like with football, you know what I mean? Just to start, you know, right there. I wanted to play ball all my life. That's all I've ever thought about, playing football. I never thought about going to work in a cubicle or going to work, you know, for food, fast, you know, nothing like that. It was just always football. And it took me, you know, really to get to college and to see what it's actually like in that professional, you know, not really NFL, but like a profession, like a business. Because I mean, as you
college football is a business.
Football is a business. It's not, you know, fun and games. Once you get out of high school, you know, you got to be here at a certain time. You got to be there at a certain time. You got to go to class, go to practice, meetings,
Athlete,
film.
student, not a student athlete.
No,
You're
exactly.
an
You're
athlete,
athlete first. So I mean, as for growth, I feel that for you to truly grow, you have to be comfortable within yourself. You know, that's just my view on that. And as for following your first mind, that's what one of my dad's biggest quotes for me was always following your first mind. And it's not necessarily your conscience. It's not necessarily, you know, maybe even, you know, some people who are religious, it might not be God. It's just that first thing that hits your mind. You like, maybe I shouldn't do that. Like you just said, oh, I shouldn't buy this item. You know, I shouldn't go to this party. I don't got a good feeling about this. You know what I mean? That's really your first mind. And it's hard to decipher which is your first mind and second mind. So, I mean, that really just depends on how you feel in that moment. You know, that first instinct, like you said. You know what I mean? So that's really the way I look at growth and how I look at, you know, following your first mind.
So even with that, like I said, the person I've seen grow, like, I noticed grown like so much, like exponentially since I've been back here, and like been around him is actually my brother right here.
Right.
Like your growth was exponential to what you went through to what you at now, what you have to like realize to become a man to your situation. Like you want to touch upon like your situation, like you feel like you grown.
Yeah, I feel like my growth really has, from back then and now, has changed a lot, and it's all about mindset for real. Like y'all said, it's the first instincts. Everything that I did that I wasn't supposed to do, I knew I wasn't supposed to do this shit. Feel me? So I'm not following my first instinct. Trouble, bail, more trouble, bail, more trouble. And then you be like, you just keep tumbling down that road so much, you like, you feel me? Eventually you hit rock bottom. And you like, when you start thinking about shit, you like, just like y'all said, like, damn, if I would follow my first mind, I wouldn't have did this. You feel me? Or even doing bad shit, you like, if I would follow my first mind, I would have did it different. Like, it just like,
you put yourself in a better situation. Even if you was gonna fail, you put yourself in a better position not to fail.
Yeah,
that you could live with more.
Yeah, you feel me? So it's like, and I feel like we all been saying that just growing up. You feel me? Playing tag with your friends. You feel me? You notice back. You feel me? Young when you don't follow your first mind, how shit go bad. You feel me? So it's just like, I guess like you feel me. So from then to now, you feel me? After messing up and all that, like that was something that I did notice. Like I need to follow my first mind. Why the fuck I keep going against it? You feel me?
So
that's what I've been doing.
A quick follow question: You think it's what? Or you think is it something in particular that made you go against your first mindset? Was it like for example, like I went against my first mindset because I want to fit in, like you said, you want to be that athlete. Right. And so what made you go against that first mindset? Because me, for the most part, I followed my first mindset. Because I feel like I never had to prove myself. Like I feel like I was always good at sports. I feel like I was smart too. So when people like, let's go do this, I'm like, no, I'm good. Mm-hmm. But some people wasn't like that. Mm-hmm. So you think that had to play into you?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like being the littlest person, I always was. Y'all play football with me. I gotta have the biggest heart. I gotta like you feel me like I always feel like, but it was more me trying to put on for y'all. You feel me like you feel me? I don't want to look weak. Like it's just like
just to piggyback on that, bro. This dude right here, bro. This my dog. We play like you said. We play ball. And even though you was the littlest, whatever on the team, whatever like that, bro, whenever we needed a
When the
real
little
look,
player.
whenever we needed somebody to come out there and get 100%, bro, David would always show that energy and that, you know what I mean, that aggression, you know what I mean? He didn't act like, you know, he was the size he was, whatever. You know what I mean? That man came out there and he handled his business, bro. And I gotta respect you for that 100%,
God,
bro.
don't God.
Straight up, like your brother said, bro, you wrong.
He said that
bro.
was like the causation of him trying to overcompensate for him feeling like he had to like show himself because like, he was second guessing him, so he didn't go to first. Like his first instinct, like I'm good enough. I know I am. But his other mom's like, oh
Or my
shit.
first instinct might have been fuck football. I like drawing. You feel me?
Oh,
But I want to.
But
I want the cool. I want the school. I want
You want
like,
people
my
that
peers
notice
to
you.
fuck with me. Yeah, so I'm doing shit for other people. Like we start that shit young. You feel me? It's a lot of people playing sports who don't give a fuck about sports. You feel
But
me?
that's a
Bro,
very
you good at drawing?
Yeah,
he was always good at drawing as a kid.
I was drawing. You feel me? 10 years old,
Also,
9
bro,
years old, drawing.
I want to step in about that. And also, I think that's probably how I end up in my position.
You suck.
No. I do suck at drawing. I'm not. he took all that from me. Any artistic swag, artistic stuff he took from me.
You know, on a quick side note, when it comes to these two, you know, I keep forgetting that they're twins. You know that they're brothers.
Because I was cute. You know,
But don't look nothing alike.
My first got is their last name. My first instinct when it comes to these two niggas, I just know this nigga Dartis was stealing food in his tummy.
No, but David came out bigger than us, bro. David came out for sure bigger than me.
Nah, that nigga Dartis.
But David will win the fish fight. Straight up. David will win that.
Come on, bro.
But kind of touched on it.
Straight up.
But to get back into the topic though, kind of touching off with David, like, also I actually followed the second instinct. So like me, I was a top athlete. Me and him both was athlete of the year in our senior year of football. I was getting offers to play and stuff like that, but I realized I still chose to go to U of A and do like a walk-on method because I knew at the end of the day, to get to NFL the chance is so minute. It's the odds you get in this. So I was realistic for myself. Like I know I'm smart. I know I can get a good job. I know I can get set up financially. I go about throughout that. Everybody since I was a kid told me this was the route to make sure you was financially successful. You know, they say that the more education you got, the more money you can make. It's not 100% accurate like that, but that is some like correlation to it. So I knew I can be that. I knew from you talking like red coaches and stuff.
Not trying to cut you off, but like, what gave you and instilled you those things to make you feel like you knew you was gonna make it? You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Well,
you
good
knew,
question.
you
Well,
feel
it's
me?
actually two things. I'll go into that. So the first thing is really, like I said, my mentor system from my grandpa, from teachers that came along, like Mr. Fobbs and other coaches that even Coach Reddimer was like,
Grant did a hell of a job. Sure.
Facts. Shout out to
Reddimer was like our teacher, but to be honest with you, brother, you good at football and everything. I can see you playing and everything, but you also can be more than just a football player. Like,
Right, man.
like you have a future. Like you can lead. You can be lead by example and all that. And that said things with me. And the second thing was, I read this book called Outliers by Malcolm. Like back to the next thing that also kept me that helped me get to where I need to go. Was actually I read this book called Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, and it's pretty much it tells you what it takes to be an outlier and for you to pretty much to stand out amongst like your peers in your group. So talk about the hours it takes for you to be committed to something, what you need to do, how you position yourself properly, and this is the mindset you have to go into, knowing that you're supposed to be something great. So I knew after reading that book and with the mentors I had that I'm destined to be successful. I told myself that stuff since high school, but I'm like, I'm gonna be successful, bro. I don't care what's in front of me, family, this and that, whatever's like obstacles in front of me.
No matter what, bro.
I'm gonna be successful. And so far, I'm doing pretty good at reaching that goal without thought myself. But it's like, I'm not shocked because, like I said, I had that mindset from the kids. Like, it's like in football when you tell yourself, I'm the best player on the field, whether you are or not. You tell yourself you're the best, you can perform better. It's because you have that confidence in yourself. That's what I
Not to
said.
cut you off, but you feel me? We twins, so I knew him as a kid. And you feel me? Me saying that let me know, like, you feel me? We all learn shit at different stages of life. You feel me? Him as a kid, that nigga was trying to prove himself his whole childhood.
Facts.
Bruh. His whole
That's what
childhood.
Dartis is.
Nigga, Dartis do this, he gonna go do it. You feel me?
Yeah.
So he trying to prove to other people like he hard or whatever, bro. But like, so getting older for him, he like, nigga, I done proved it. You feel
Yeah.
me? For me, it was vice versa. I wasn't doing that.
That
You know?
nigga 5 years older than us, bro. That
You
shit
feel
don't-
me?
You like,
So,
come on,
so that's all I was about to say.
Twins are like, bro, nigga 5 years older, bro. I'm telling you, it don't make
It got me
sense.
Big was always big as hell. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. It just
watched
you feel
10
me?
places
Levels
today.
to it.
I didn't even notice that.
Learning
But I
experience.
couldn't remember too. I was always doing shit at a young age, proving myself. Then when I got older, I'm like, man, I'm cool. I already kind of got that.
I been proved myself. You feel me? I established that.
All right, so I got a question for all y'all. I feel like it's a great time to ask it. So since you guys, first of all, I just want to say congratulations on this chat. You know what I'm saying? This podcast, y'all doing your damn thing. It's very inspirational, bro. It's very inspirational to see not only, y'all doing your thing, but young black men doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? And handling business and doing, fulfilling their dreams. So I have one question. Well, I got a couple questions, but first one is, what were one of the hardships, I guess you could say, which was starting this chat or when starting this chat, and how did you guys overcome that?
Bro, to be honest, the first hardship was getting everybody on the same page. Because the first thing we had a group of people like, okay, what do we want to talk about? How do you want to talk about it? Do we want to do more of a podcast, more of an episode, the blend of it? That's what we kind of chose, but now we kind of leaning towards the podcast side of it. It was kind of like it wasn't getting the idol because we knew we could get it. It was more so like, how do we get 4 dominant alpha males? Well, my Johnny was in there. He was like,
Bro, we don't use alpha and beta no more, bro. That's
okay, my bad. You don't
That's
understand. How do you get 4 men? How do you get 4 strong personality men to agree to have something done the same way? It's kind of like in forming. That was the biggest thing. Like, okay, how do we get on the same page? Because I already knew how to edit videos. I already knew how to do some other stuff. I've been watching YouTube for a while, so I already know kind of what it takes. I didn't know everything what it takes. I'm learning more and more now, but I had an idea in my head. It was like, okay, dude, how you want to talk about this? How you want to approach this topic? And like, cause he my twin, I feel like me and him were like wavelength with each other. Like, yeah.
I was finding
But
out.
then,
Like,
like,
the process. Hey,
yeah.
do the process. Niggas is brothers. I forgot. I'm getting outvoted. You have to bring I was getting outvoted on everything, bro. It's crazy.
Hey, but I ain't never growing up. I ain't realized that shit until getting older. Like, damn.
Yeah, so y'all told us,
similarities, bro. We really do be thinking the
Yeah,
same.
like, she's like me. They be like, nah, we ain't like. You told anybody, actually like, nah, we not like. But y'all be like, nah, you niggas is more like than y'all think.
Yeah, I'm learning.
But actually, I think that was like for me thinking about it was the hardest part. What about y'all? Y'all agree with that? I think it was something else was the hardest part.
For me, it was a hardship as far as like with having a tight schedule. My hardship was like I didn't want to let y'all down. For example, I didn't want to not show up. You know what I'm saying? When I wanted to be here, I wanted to like be here as soon as possible, be as involved as I can be. And then another hardship was like trying to convince myself to ask you to join the show. When I watched that first few episodes, I was like, damn, they already got something started. I don't want to just jump in and be like, oh, like, shit, let me go ahead and jump on the fucking...
Not to cut him off, but he was
the hype train, you feel me?
He was ready, bro. He came in, that nigga said,
Oh, Johnny was?
Yeah. Man, he came in and said, man, I'm about to do the show. Like, he gave us good vibes, bro. He just came ready, bro. We like, well, shit, this nigga, we played sports together, you feel me? This nigga always on time, he about his business. Niggas make it work.
Because a lot of people are interested in a lot of people was like, I want to be a part of it. But we was like, nah. But then my Johnny came hit us up, was like,
And he came.
It
And
made
that's what it
sense.
was. He sold us. I'm gonna be honest. You sold me on the show. You get what I'm saying? You came. You was on a good energy, all that shit. Because I feel like it was a lot of people that was trying to be on. You get what I'm trying to say? And that was probably one of my toughest. You feel me? Like, because it was never like I didn't want niggas on the show or no shit like that. But one of the toughest things, like, it's so many people asking, trying to be on. So I'm like, I ain't trying to hurt nobody feelings in a sense. You get what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to pick the right. Like, I wanted to pick the right group, like you said, but that was probably the hardest part, the creative differences and all this shit. And like, I feel like when that nigga was on the show, my man was on the show, bro. You just sold us, bro. It's like we had to have him on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you came and you inspired us and you inspired me to make sure, okay, we gotta have more energy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta speak like this little shit. Like, everything I feel like worked out and went, and everything happens for a reason. You feel me?
And
you gotta be open minded to everything.
And to be honest, when you first was there and you wasn't like already on the team, we was like, we had to talk like, man, we want to, he's good, but like, we got fair to other people that we also asked us, we kind of like debating. Like I said, but we vibe so much. You here now, so you know you on there officially, so you know. Like, I remember, I was making the header on the YouTube, and I forgot to put him in. He was like, bro, you need to put me in the header. It looked nice, bro.
Where my name at? I want to eat too. Everybody else can get it. I was like, shit. It's gonna be Dom, Dave, the 3 Ds, and that other nigga, like, that one lanky nigga just sitting there.
That year was hella funny when you did that shit. I was like, I got you, bro. Bobby, I really just forgot. But that
shit send me a photo, bro.
Hey, no lie though. When I first saw the acronym that y'all got, the DDTC, I was like, is it? You know what I mean? But then I saw the C. I was trying to think of what more Johnny, like what he. You know what I mean? How he did C.
He just broke the C.
Yeah.
Niggas, nobody knew.
Nobody knew that.
Nobody knew.
Bro, as soon as I saw that, I was like, David T's. And then I was like,
Who the fuck is
C.
this?
I'm like, that nigga name started with J, if anything.
Nigga, chat. Don't do that, chat.
But did it have no?
They had Jordan because Jordan wasn't there when he was making it.
Yeah, I'm like, no idea. And the Jordan did those.
We made that shit a fluke. That shit was
that was one of the main. I wasn't fucking with the name. I ain't finna lie to you. I'll be having a problem with a lot of shit. I ain't gonna lie.
You know best half the things, bro.
Yeah, I'll be having a problem with a lot of things,
It's all
bro. I ain't
good.
gonna lie.
It was David.
But the shit
Dog.
that
I mean, you like perfection.
And
you know what I'm
Coochie
saying?
the thing that's
Like perfection.
I'm gonna bring up the things that's hidden.
You feel it? It ain't no secrets, bro.
But it's nothing wrong being particular, but I feel you need that one particular dude in the group because it gets you thinking like maybe we should elevate it more sometimes.
Hell yeah, he keep us pushing, bro, and he let us realize, bro, if we not arguing about a topic, we not serious about the topic.
Nah.
If you ain't ready to argue about it and really like, nigga, hold on, this how I feel. You not.
What dudes mess up at is they don't know that teachers let to argue. So that nigga, now I be coming with some stuff. I come right back with some stuff. We'll get it popping.
All right, well, since we starting argument topics, I got one good one. Here we go.
What's that?
Who do you guys think is the best comedian of all time?
All time.
That's easy.
You never know. You never know my mom.
Wait.
Because we already in agreement.
No.
I can tell by your smile.
No.
Come on,
That
man.
nigga trying to tell
I can tell by your smile you already in agreement.
All right, hold on. I want to hear yours first.
I feel like Eddie Murphy, bro. That's just me saying.
Respectful. That's a respectful.
He is one of
That's a respectful selection.
Come on, man. Just his timing, just his wittiness, everything. But also, I don't want to just throw no disrespect because I might say my man Dick Gregory just as a sense of honorable mention, just for the simple.
For the people that don't know who Dick Gregory is, go look up that name right now. After the video on YouTube, go look up Dick Gregory. One of the funniest men that ever walked this planet.
We got
And
what
it
about
just
you?
he
What about
got too
you?
much knowledge to where.
Who's your branch of his name? My favorite comedian, I think a lot of people might think he underrated, but I'm going for Eddie Griffin, man.
Eddie
Eddie
Griffin.
Facts.
Griffin, hella
He is
funny,
a
facts.
bro. Oh God, just
His stand-up was crazy. His stand-up about Jesus walking on water.
That nigga, his show was even underrated.
Like,
I feel like, bro.
that was the stand-up that made me realize, like, hold on, he the truth, like that nigga.
But Eddie
hella
Griffin,
funny,
for
bro.
sure, top 3, easily.
Ooh, I don't know.
Easily.
Oh, God.
Stand
Nobody
up.
gets to debate,
But let's keep going.
So I got a hidden gem in the comedy world. A lot of people don't know about him, but anybody that know comedy,
I do.
People that
know everybody.
You assuming. I'm saying you assuming.
I know
My bad, I
everybody.
mean, disrespect
It
y'all.
is a
Disrespect y'all.
What you do, you assume.
People be knowing that. You should go. Don't say no.
So
bull,
my
like,
favorite
word.
comedian is he actually passed away not too long ago. But Chiso Neal.
I was just watching this nigga interviews,
For
bro.
real?
When he was on Angela Yee, bro, he was just on Umbrella. Fine, bro. He's on a little rapper.
Damn, but that's way. But Patrice O'Neal, bro, he's like my type of humor. So he has like dark and like raunchy humor. His humor definitely would be acceptable nowadays.
Oh man.
But he was old school and he was just having funny. Like one of his jokes was talking about how your girlfriend is the fish that you caught. You try to throw back in the water and she hopped back on the boat. Like, why'd you throw me back in? And I'm your fish for the rest of your life. So and also like another joke where he was, the other joke he was like, why black people can't be like serial killers because like if a white dude standing in an alley with like a chloroform that it's like a little white guy, bitch. Got it right? There's a black niggas in an alley with a chloroform white. Like they ain't walking, they crossing the street already before he the dude not to have nothing on. They already crossing the street, so he can't even be a serial killer.
Right.
He already got their attendance on.
Ain't having it.
Why is a black dude standing here with a napkin in his head? I ain't going over there. Hey man, so this dude, that's my guy, bro. He was also on The Office. That's one like the warehouse workers and other things like that.
Watch that.
So he wasn't I wouldn't say he was a great actor, but when he came to stand up, he was a stand up guy, bro. He was a stand up guy. He was cold-hearted, but he used to train other comedians. He trained Kevin Hart. Like
he trained hella.
he booed Kevin Hart.
Ooh, I'm sorry, Kevin Hart is trash.
But he booed Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart is trash. I'm sorry, Kev. If you see this, I'm
I'm
sorry.
gonna keep it real, Kev. I'm giving it to you, bro. Your wave was incredible, bro. You was funny to a bitch,
Trash.
Bro, ain't it crazy that the people that remind you of somebody, bro, really hate that, bro? I swear this nigga is the closest person I know to Kevin Hart, bro. And this nigga gonna scream some nut ass shit like that.
That nigga is not funny,
bro.
That nigga's not funny.
But I get what you saying, though. I get what you saying. It's
Okay,
certain
but
comedians
once
that
y'all
that's not funny,
once
though.
y'all get to me on that question, then you gonna understand why I said Kevin Hart is
Don't
trash.
Let's go
get me
Mark
wrong,
Henry
he-
real quick.
So me, I was thinking about this the whole time, trying to really just boil down and pick a single comedian,
Right.
but I really couldn't pick one, because with me, it's not as fact as like I don't know comedians and shit like that. It's just that I find a lot of shit funny.
Yeah.
I find a lot of shit funny, and it's not like there's one person that makes me like
Say
die
you white
laughing.
comedian, bro. Go on, don't be ashamed.
Okay. I'm gonna name off.
I know it's no fair,
I'm gonna name
nigga.
off my favorite comedians. All right. These
Your first one we gonna count as your favorite though.
Cause you don't understand, bro.
The first one?
First
Okay.
one we gonna
We
count
gonna
as
show diversity.
Okay, so I'm gonna say Ari Spearman,
We love all.
Spears.
Ari Spears, Ari Spears,
Hell
Eddie
of a
Griffin,
fact.
Chris Tucker.
Surely, that's top 3.
Surely, Kevin Hart,
Chris Tucker for sure, my time.
Dave Chappelle.
Oh, we
Dave
like
Chappelle.
Hold on, wait on it. Alright, that's enough. We're gonna say
He might get
why.
canceled
Chill out,
because
chill out,
he
chill
was
out.
at.
Gotta say
You naming a
Dave.
lot
Alright,
of
people,
names.
we didn't say no name. I mean,
No,
God
We
damn.
do not own
It's
any
your fuck
copyright
up,
to
nigga.
these people.
It's your fuck. You
Names.
come up with Patrice O'Neal, nigga. God.
Alright.
No,
He is a
he
goat.
he must be the last. He supposed to be
And
his
it's
answer or
crazy.
something.
It's crazy that y'all didn't say this name, and I'm gonna bring him up.
Oh, Cat Williams.
It's so much controversy
Facts.
around. No.
No,
He
he
said
didn't
it.
say Martin Lawrence.
No, my favorite comedian is Cat Williams, and I'm gonna say it for one reason and one
I
reason
see
only.
that, though. I can see
Before
that.
Cat
I
Williams
can
started
see
in all
that.
them drugs and all this
That's
other stuff, Cat Williams was on top of the world, bro. You couldn't find another funnier person in this world
And
than
you know,
Cat
I got my
Williams.
conspiracy
And like
on
I
that
went
Cat
back.
Williams, dog.
And like I was gonna go back to that when he said Kevin Hart. The reason I don't like Kevin Hart is because Kevin Hart didn't have a career before Cat Williams got into that. When he came to the town, you know what I'm saying? He smoked on some of that good, you know what I mean?
Damn,
And next thing you know, bro, remember that show, bro? He was out there sweating and shit like that. And there was no career, bro.
He was smoking.
There was no career for Kevin Hart before Cat Williams, bro.
He said, nigga,
And when you think about it, Kevin Hart took the way Cat Williams tells comedy.
My
That
father.
loud ass raunchy, just out there talking about anything and everything. My kids, my family, my this and my that.
True.
You feel what I'm saying?
I get it.
That's my favorite. Cat Williams for life.
But it don't got
But
the
Dave
same
Chappelle
season.
second,
Yeah,
and then
hell.
Robin Harris. Robin Harris. I gotta throw him out
Robin
there. Rest in
Harris,
peace.
that's
Rest in peace, Robin Harris.
Oh,
Rest in
Lavelle
peace,
too.
Bernie Mac.
Lavelle Crawford.
Lavelle Crawford. That nigga
Yeah,
is funny as hell.
I saw Bruce Bruce got the long ago. That nigga still funny.
Huh?
He damn near the king of comedy, bro.
No, he's not. It's that one dude.
Hey,
Richard Pryor.
Hey,
Richard
Bernie.
Pryor.
Bernie, well, yeah, Richard
Bernie
Pryor.
Mac.
I'm gonna ask you this.
Whoa, didn't nobody say.
No, I had to say it. Bernie Mac.
Yeah, I'm out here. We gotta do top 3.
Bernie
This
Mac.
is disrespectful.
Okay, we can do top.
Let me
go back
ask you
around.
this question then. Who's your favorite non-black comedian?
My shit easy.
Aziz Ansari.
Aziz Ansari?
Aziz Ansari, he Indian, bro. He goes crazy.
I've got his
He goes
name.
crazy.
That nigga Will Ferrell.
Mine gotta be Will Ferrell.
But I gotta
Stand up?
think
Stand
about
up
it.
comedian,
right?
I
Or
gotta
just
really
a
think. I gotta really
comedian.
think.
Mine
If
is
that's
Jeff
the case, I gotta say Seth Rogen.
Mine is
That nigga's hilarious.
So mine is Sam Morril. If you don't know him, but he does all stand up. He's not like an actor or anything. His stuff, his punchlines and his catch is on point. I be watching Comedy Central his episodes all the time. So I think it's like Sam Morril or Sam Morris or something like that. He's hella funny.
What's his name?
It's like Sam Morris or Sam Morril. Like he's hella funny. He
Oh,
got-
Morrell.
Is it Morril?
Steve? You talking
No,
about
not Steve, but
You talking about Steve Carell?
No,
From
he's
the
not
office?
Steve Carell,
That
bro.
nigga hella funny. White boy from the office, hella
Alright,
funny.
but
bro.
he's like-
Steve Carell.
And this
We're not talking about him.
He's
Yeah.
not like a big level comedian, but he's like a mid tier one. But yeah, his stuff easy.
Nah, you know who might be the funniest white comedian, bro? Bro, off the
Hangover.
50-year
I'm
version.
sitting here thinking of Hangover, like, bro, they gotta
Yeah,
get
right,
it,
The
man.
white boy over here. Oh, you talking about Fat Bird for the Hangover with the hair? He had all the curly hair.
Nah, I'm
Fat
talking
Bird.
about
Alan.
50-year-old virgin. 50-year-old virgin.
Yeah, that's Steve Carell.
40-year-old virgin.
Steve Carell, yeah.
Steve Carell.
He was in Get Smart.
Get Smart.
That's it.
He damn near
Offer Your Virgin.
He got the trophy, bro. That nigga.
But he's
Easily. We talking about
Well, he's like standard white comedy. Standard white
No,
comedy is like
bruh.
goofiness.
Oh,
Yeah.
Over goofy.
No, but
Jackass had me.
Damn, why I gotta be
You
white?
know, missing somebody, bro.
Because he
You
already
missing
do
somebody.
goofy.
bro.
That's what I'm trying to sit here really
You
think.
show
I don't think y'all really
You
thinking for
tripping,
real,
bro.
bro.
He not like a
bro.
little
He's
fair
raising
play
them
kid
niggas
movie.
way.
Shit,
Hold
that's what
on. I'm trying to think. Like,
Did we
I
say,
He
said,
said somebody.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
bro.
We talked about Martin Lawrence. Okay, yeah, we good, man. No, we didn't miss nobody.
I
But
mean,
we talking about white
we
comedians. I
didn't have
don't
a
really
favorite,
know
bro.
no real, like,
Adam
other
Sandler
than
might
like,
be up there because I
Oh,
always
wait,
fuck
look.
with. I didn't fuck
Adam
with every
Sandler's
Adam
up there.
Sandler movie, bro, growing up.
Come
So
on,
I can't
yeah.
just say.
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler's movies are absolutely
Are
hilarious.
hilarious.
I feel like when you're younger, his movies are funny.
Hey,
Older,
hey,
older,
Because
older,
not Overboard. What was that one movie, bro? Was that Overboard?
Grown-ups, remember grown-ups? Or
Yes.
was it
Grown-Ups was
grown-ups?
actually
Both of them grown-ups.
He was like,
Oh,
he
one
was like,
black nigga
you're
funny
fugly.
as
When he's
hell,
like,
Oh, bro, I'm fucking forgetting that one black dude, the big black dude off of he was in the office too. He was in what's that? Pineapple Express, the black dude.
Oh,
Oh,
bro.
talking about Batman, bro. The one that was in Money Talks when he was in the prison with Money Talks with Chris Tucker. Yeah, and Big Worm. We talking about Big
No,
Worm.
I'm talking about I synced it. I synced it.
That
I synced
nigga
it.
funny,
Big
bro.
dude.
That nigga that
I
had
synced
You
it.
not talking about Big Worm?
You talking about no? And then like he was in also
Bruce.
No,
Nigga, he
but
was
this
a
is the
police,
end.
bro.
This is
They was a
the
police,
end
bro.
too.
They was a little police officer, nigga.
No,
So I'm saying that's bro that play big word.
Oh yeah, they was a
He was a
yeah,
drug
I'm
dude.
tripping.
He
Yeah,
was
they was
trying to
nigga.
find him.
Fat bald head, bro.
Yeah, no, they had hair. They had hair.
He had hair in the movie.
Yeah, they got hair.
That nigga ain't got. No.
Where's that nigga?
But
The nigga that
Alright,
got the nigga that got the coffee poured on his face and he smacked him in the
Look at
face.
that, I tell time machine. We already looking bad.
Oh yeah, he was a hot tub time machine. The black dude.
I thought y'all said
Come
that.
on,
I'm
Kyle,
tripping.
bro. You know
Yo,
I'm
wait,
bro.
Bro, y'all talking about? I'm telling y'all, bro.
Exactly, because the nigga ain't funny, bro.
Dude is funny, bro.
He ain't funny. Like he just
can't
say
be
funny
that
lines.
funny. Yeah, he can't be that
He's not
funny.
top
If
tier.
His
niggas
name
don't-
would have came in.
Yeah, oh God,
I
he
know.
ain't
I'm
that
telling you,
funny.
bro. Like
Niggas didn't even know the
I
nigga's
studied. Like I
Yeah.
really studied.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's not top tier funny.
Come on.
He a little funny.
All right. Let's get back. Let's get back on topic.
Tiers.
Let's get back on
We
topic.
doing a 3 tier? 3 tiers of comedy?
3 tiers is
Or
pretty
something?
good.
A comedy show?
3 tiers is good.
What's third tier comedy? Kevin Hart? Third tier comedy?
No,
That's
Kevin
what
Hart
you-
is not comedy to me, bro. Kevin Hart is.
So you
is
telling me
just-
Kevin Hart's not
he's
even on
definitely
the tier,
third
bro?
tier.
That's
That's
disrespectful.
Personally,
They not even finna validate
I'm
this
just saying.
at all.
No, I'm just saying in general, bro. I don't feel like that. Y'all, everybody got their own opinion. They entitled to it. I'm just saying personally. Oh, that nigga's hilarious.
Bro, I think that nigga's funny, bro. That nigga's funny.
His name like a female name too. It's something.
No,
like
it's Craig Phillip.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
thinking
a
Leslie.
That nigga name was right.
Yeah, I know
That nigga
that
named
nigga
Leslie.
named Craig Phillip.
That nigga look at the nigga.
Hey, that nigga named
That's
Samantha.
that nigga name in the movie, I feel like.
Bro, Craig Phillip
That's his
Roberts.
real
What's that nigga name in the movie? No, he said Leslie. I feel like that was in
Oh,
the
Well, I mean, this is really for anybody, so you want to just jump on
Yeah,
that.
like this nigga-
All right, so
What you
what
finna
is
say?
what was one of the biggest reasons or the biggest things that like made you guys want to do a podcast and why?
Bro, this is what we doing right now, bro. We love, so at first it started with game night, bro. So we was always sitting game night. We had this great conversation. They get deep, get intense. We educate each other. We argue with each other. But at the end of the day, it was really us educating each other, like something important. And we were like, bro, we are entertaining. If anybody wants to watch this conversation or listen to this conversation, they all gonna be in here dying. Like these dudes are either speeding facts or these dudes are hella funny.
Right.
So I'm like, you low key, if we invest in this and put our time in there and be patient, we can pop doing this. Because it's a formula to it, and it's people similar to us, same background to us, and they stuck to their dreams. So like Nipsey said, only difference between me and other people is I didn't give up no matter what happened. So like we knew if we with our natural humor, us being from Hayward, this now Hayward High, bro, Hayward High got the funniest people I know, bro. We just got humor in it. It's
That's
like,
facts.
Everywhere
That's
we
not
go,
even funny. Most talented, bro. Period, bro. I feel like, bro.
Where the
Ain't
Wayne
nobody,
Johnson come from?
ain't nobody that I
Wayne Johnson
know
come from?
couldn't do one thing. You know what I mean? Like either you know how to play an instrument, you can jump high, you can run fast. You know what I'm saying? You was the best at something though, bro. Like it was
come out of nowhere.
you had the best waves.
Start rapping.
You know what I'm saying? You could rap the best. Hey, like I was saying, I'm gonna get some love. Nigga, when we was in, alright, Bret Hart, I'm gonna take y'all back a little bit. Now I'm gonna give, you know what I'm saying, Marjani was a baller, you know what I mean, playing basketball and stuff like that. But as for just playing all out hooping, bro, if this nigga right here, bro, took that shit real serious, bro. This man was the best. This man was the best hooper I have ever seen in my life, bro. Cross my heart to this day, bro. I've never seen nobody dribble at 13 years old. 12 years old, like a nigga in the NBA, bro. And mind you, this man was what was he, like 4'11", 5'8", out here crossing niggas. No, I mean 7'8". I mean, shit, what you 5'11" now? But that's bro. To this day, bro, Dom is for sure the best dribbler, bro. One of the best hoopers I know, bro. Simple as that, bro. If Dom would have been Marjani's height, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Marjani's height, this man would have been on the Lakers right now, bro. I'm sorry. But that just goes to show though, bro.
Niggas would've been
Is
happy to
that
know that nigga.
the environment, sometimes the environment that you, and the resources that you have and the type of things that you grow up in don't give that path to you, bro. But as for just being able to ball, nigga, ain't nobody like you, bro.
But
Straight up,
that
bro.
go with the decision though. And I
Straight
appreciate
up.
that's real love though.
Real
You feel me?
talk, bro, like-
that go with decisions. Like
Yeah.
I said, growth. You get what I'm saying? Like in a sense, accepting the failures in your life, the things that you didn't do. You get what I'm trying to say, and then accepting and just going forward in a sense like. All of that's still talent in a sense. I'm gonna just put it in a different direction. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's like you appreciate all the things that you go through and that you all that shit. Hell yeah, them good times. You feel me? Nigga was doing sport. I play basketball for the love. You get what I'm trying to say? So in a sense,
Baller, bro.
like